Today we would like to show our gratitude to the fair, even though it couldn't exist this year. There is a wonderful ode to the Blake's Prairie Fair. Some of you may have seen that. I know there was a beautiful, well done writing of it there in front of Bloomington Floral, and also probably has appeared to other people there who have taken photographs of the ode. And this is by Donna Barks. She's well known for her artistic work that she has done on the sidewalks for years here in the village. She's a great promoter, and we thank her for coming up with this wonderful ode to the Blake's Prairie Fair. This would have been the week of the Blake's Prairie Fair. This was something for the whole town to share. But this year, there will be no fair because of the virus. The fairgrounds will be empty and bare. There are so many traditions we will miss, like the fireworks against the bright moon, engines roaring in the midnight air, and those water fights on Sunday afternoon. The kids should be busy with their projects, checking the smallest details. They should be baking, sewing, gathering vegetables, getting feed, straw, lawn chairs, and pails. But none of these things will happen this year. Our excitement has been replaced with disappointment, doubt, and fear. There will be no fair food, no fair queen, no animal contests. And what about the beer stand? Oh, Bloomington Fair, you are the best. We will miss all these things, that is for sure. So look forward to 2021 and pray for a cure. Blake's Prairie Fair may not be the greatest show on earth, but it's our fair, and we miss it. Thank you, Donna, for doing that. Now, also, I'd like to read a poem. This is way back in 1937 or earlier by Ernest Brooks. And it's from a book, Poems, by the way, by Ernest Brooks. Our old Blake's Prairie Fair. To stretch allowances, 30 cents. Some kids went in through flimsy fence, and others with adventure goad ganged on Sam's mountain melon load. Right loyal crowds were always there, and at the gate helped out the fare. Some few, back tavern steps held down, saw fare scot-free from the seats uptown. In canvas tents, the show was then. Stock took the air in open pen, and still rare quality was found on that old pioneer fairground. This was, in fact, to eyes of youth, the greatest fair in very truth, when pleasures few gave appetite with hearty zest for all in sight. To be once more on that old ground, in that old crowd, in sight and sound of friends and voices known so well, would be a happiness to tell. The founders all have passed away. Blake's Prairie Fair goes on today on higher ground, all built up new, with modern progress there in view. And we thought that was still a very good poem here, even though way back in the 30s, that it fits so well, reminding us of when the fair was behind us here, down on the flat, before it went up to where it is located now. Now, we'd like to just cover a few of the posters which have been saved here from the past, or articles that were made into posters for the Blake's Prairie Fair. And always there since I've been here, of course, coming in August and then later in July. But fairs were clear back in October and September at one time also. Now here's an article because I enjoyed so much working with this man for a number of years and all the things that he did for the fair and for the township. And that was Neil Thornton. And here we see a picture of him, and he was a fair treasurer for a long time, and so was I for a long time. So I know what it was like and can appreciate what he had to try to take care of. And a lot of times, sometimes the bill couldn't be paid right away because money was a little bit on the short end. So I had to wait for more funds to try to come in. So I'm sure everyone has very good memories, and of course, making possible for the township grader to come and work on the grounds there and on the track and so on. So there was a lot of support in different ways from people in the area that made the fair possible and still possible going today. Now in this one here, I enjoy so much too because I spent time when I first came to the area going out to Bob and Nona Quick's place and seeing the family, talking to them. I was young then, full of lots of energy, and but they were so involved in the area. It was 4-H, the fair, you name it. And of course, Nona for a long time there as secretary for the fair, and Bob, of course, always helping out there in any way that he could. Providing the ride there, of course, Morris Enke. So another person I'm sure everyone remembers. Now, this happens to be one of my favorite because I remember seeing this poster. It got put up there in the old fair office, and I do remember that place. And I remember that we all managed to survive the lightning strike that hit the telephone pole by the building. We maybe felt a little power there, but nobody was on the phone, which blew off the wall. So that memory sticks, I think, with all of us that were at the fair that year. Well, there we see Nona and Rosie, and referring to Rosie Thornton and Nona Quick, and everybody had a lot of fun. They enjoyed it too, so the poster stayed up there on display there in the fair building, fair office building. Here we have a few reminders from the 1976 Blake's Prairie Fair. And of course the rodeos, thank goodness that was all made possible. We have to keep in mind that for a while there was rodeo stock available in the area, which made possible to have the rodeo, because there's a lot of cost, a lot of work, a lot of things involved in making a thing like that possible. But that became a very important Friday night event. And in one of the pictures here, of course, that's always a favorite one there when we see getting a kiss from Barb Wagner, getting a fair queen, getting a kiss from Virgil Johnson, the fair president. And that sort of was a tradition there for our different years at the fair. We also see there the rodeo announcer, Willis Hamilton, who was well known in the area, and I thought always did an excellent job there as an announcer there for the rodeo. And of course, back in those days, there were lots of also many fair queen candidates. There were a lot more 4-H clubs and the FFAs and that would sponsor candidates. So, you know, some of those things have changed, but there's a lot of very fond memories there from the past. You see pictures that were on there from the tractor pull. That was always the big deal there, especially on Sunday evening. And there we see one of the displays there from the Arts and Crafts building and one of the bareback bronc riders by Kurt Govier of Lancaster. It's just a few scenes from the past and a lot to always think about, and what these people started, we all have to try to keep going in the future. That's important. It takes everybody's efforts, people showing up. There's always a lot of work, a lot involved there, but it keeps us on the map. That's one thing people know about the Blake's Prairie Fair at Bloomington. And we've held our own when a lot of other places have disappeared with their fairs over the years. We've been hanging in there and hope to keep going there for many, many more years.